Imagine a time when fear and superstition ruled. Whispers could lead to the gallows, and innocence was no defense against the cry of witch. The Salem Witch Trials of 1692 are a haunting reminder of the danger of mass hysteria and the darkness that can consume a community gripped by fear. Tonight, we look into this tragic chapter, exploring how neighbor turned against neighbor in a frenzy of accusation and death. And later, I'll share with you an ancient ritual believed to tip the scales of justice in one's favor, a spell to protect oneself in the face of unjust persecution. Welcome, seekers of secrets, spells and shadows. I'm Victoria Unikel, artist and media mogul by day and modern witch exorcista by night. Every Thursday, we explore the haunted, the cursed, and the supernatural. If you are ready for terrifying truth and forbidden rituals, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Let's begin. It was the winter of 1692 in the small Puritan town of Salem Village, Massachusetts. It began with two young girls, Betty Parris, aged 9, and her cousin, Abigail Williams, 11. The daughters of prominent town figures, they suddenly started convulsing, screaming, and speaking in strange tongues. They claimed unseen forces tormented them, pinching and scratching their skin. Doctors found no medical explanation, and so the blame fell on the supernatural. The diagnosis? Witches. It started with whispers. Then the whispers became accusations. Soon, the entire village was watching as the young girls, trembling and pale, pointed their fingers. "It was them! I saw them with the devil!" Abigail's voice rang out in the packed meeting house. The crowd gasped. Sarah Good clutched her chest, stepping backward. "Lies!" she stammered, her voice barely a whisper. "No! She came to me in the night! Her spirit tried to choke me in my sleep!" Abigail yelled, her body twisting in agony. Sarah Osborne tried to speak, but the moment she opened her mouth, Betty collapsed to the floor, screaming and acting like unseen hands were dragging her toward the fireplace. Gasps, cries, panic spread like wildfire. The afflicted girls pointed their trembling fingers at three women: Sarah Good, a homeless beggar; Sarah Osborne, a woman who defied social norms; and Tituba, an enslaved woman from Barbados. Each of them was accused of practicing witchcraft. Under immense pressure, Tituba confessed. She told stories of witches gathering under the full moon, spectral beasts lurked in the woods, and the shadowy figure commanded her to do his bidding. But most importantly, she claimed more witches were hidden among the villagers. Her confession fueled the hysteria, and more accusations flooded in. Neighbor turned against neighbor. Any slight misstep, any odd behavior, any memory of a past grievance could mean a death sentence. The accused faced impossible choices: confess and name others, or deny and be sentenced to death. The trials were quick and simple. No evidence was needed. The judges allowed spectral evidence, claims that the spirits of the accused tormented the victims in their dreams. As the paranoia grew, so did the list of the condemned. Among them was Rebecca Nurse, a 71-year-old woman known for her kindness. She was deeply religious, respected and loved, but her age and frail body did not spare her, and accusations sealed her fate. Her friends and family pleaded for her innocence, but the court would not hear it. She was hanged alongside others, her body swaying from the gallows. Then there was Giles Corey, an 80-year-old farmer who refused to enter a plea. He knew the court was corrupt, and if he confessed, his land would be taken from his family. Instead, he remained silent. For this, he was subjected to pressing, a gruesome torture where heavy stones were placed upon his chest. For 2 days he suffered, his ribs cracking under the weight. His last defiant words before death were simple: more weight. One by one they were taken to Gallows Hill, where the hangman waited. Some prayed, others screamed their innocence. When the rope tightened, the whispers started. Was it really justice or murder? By the time the hysteria subsided, 20 people had been executed, 14 women and 6 men. At least 5 more perished in jail, and over 200 others had been accused. The trials left a permanent scar on the town. When the panic finally broke, the people of Salem looked upon their actions with horror. Families of the accused were left in ruin, and the community was shattered by guilt and regret. Years later, justice prevailed, and the victims of the terror were exonerated. The living were pardoned, but it was too late for the dead. The Salem Witch Trials remain one of the most terrifying episodes in American history. But they were not the only case of mass hysteria and persecution. The Connecticut Witch Trials, 1647 through 1663. Connecticut was the scene of America's first large-scale witch hunts, decades before Salem. The colony prosecuted 43 individuals for witchcraft, resulting in 16 executions. The Basque Witch Trials, 1609 through 1614, Spain. Hundreds of people, mostly women, were accused of witchcraft and heresy. The Inquisition oversaw brutal torture, resulting in mass imprisonments, forced confessions, and executions. The Pendle Witch Trials, 1612, England. In a small English village, 12 people were accused of consorting with the devil. Many of the accused were old women, and 10 of them were executed by hanging. Witch trials are a thing of the past, but to this day, false accusations of wrongdoing sometimes lead to mass hysteria and injustices. This ritual will give you an advantage in legal matters with spiritual counsel. What you'll need: a white tea light candle for purity and truth, sage for justice and positive outcomes, a piece of parchment or paper, a pen with black ink, a small dish of salt for purification. Step 1. Light a white candle. On the parchment, write your full name and the words justice and favor. Step 2. Hold the sage in your hands. Close your eyes and envision a positive outcome in your legal matter. Whisper your intentions into the sage. Step 3. Place the parchment in front of the candle. Put the sage on top of the parchment. Sprinkle a circle of salt around the parchment and the sage, creating a protective barrier. Hold your hands above the parchment and say, "By the light of this flame, I call upon forces of justice and truth. Guide the hands that judge this matter. Let fairness prevail. As I will, so shall it be." Step 4. Sit quietly for a few moments, focusing on the flame and visualizing a just outcome. Allow the candle to burn out completely. Keep the parchment with you until your legal matter is resolved. Fear is a powerful force, one that can lead civilized society into madness. Have you ever witnessed an injustice? Have you ever felt powerless against a system stacked against you? Share your stories in the comments below. And if you tried this ritual, let me know if you felt its power. Subscribe, my darlings, and join me next week for another terrifying tale. Until then, stay safe, stay aware, and never let fear become your judge and executioner.